All right. A pretty entertaining game if you are a 49ers fan, and if you are a Jets fan, you might be hurt by this, but some things to take away from this for sure from a fantasy perspective. Probably the main thing being, honestly, the main thing for me being Jordan Mason. But with that being said, we'll also get into the receivers and things like that. And so, glad you're here. This is the post-night stream. We've done these for a couple times now. It seems everybody likes them, so make sure you drop a like if you enjoy these. But we are going to get started by breaking down this game. We'll take your comments. We'll take your questions. I'm interested to see what your biggest takeaways from this game are. I will say this. I needed 3 points to win from Brandon Ayuk, and I almost didn't get it. And we probably should have anticipated a pretty tough matchup for Ayuk going against Sauce Gardner. But with that being said, Deebo Samuel did get his own. He had 16.2 points in half PPR leagues. And you saw him, especially in the first half, get quite a bit of usage. And so that is, at least if you drafted Deebo, that is at least somewhat encouraging. I'm trying to get this stupid screenshot to come down. Whatever. So dumb. Maybe I can just screen share it with you. There we go. Yeah. So Deebo had 16.2 points in this game. And again, you feel pretty good, I think, about what you saw from him. 8 carries. So basically, when Christian McCaffrey's out, you know Deebo is going to benefit from that. Not only Deebo, though, obviously Jordan Mason as well. Jordan Mason had 21.5 points tonight. 28 carries, 147 yards, and a touchdown. Also had a 5-yard catch. But Jordan Mason had some big plays tonight. He had some big plays. And I think that's probably the main takeaway here. He's going to be a hot waiver pickup come Wednesday morning, and I think it's warranted. Obviously, I will say this right up front. I was totally expecting Christian McCaffrey to play tonight. He did not play. This was surprising to me, and I think now it raises a little bit of concern for me for the rest of the season. And I was talking to some of my buddies about this tonight. Like, you talk about calf injuries, Achilles injuries, definitely, especially in the past couple of years with Rodgers, who was on the field tonight, and Joe Burrow last year, definitely not the most ideal set of circumstances in terms of how soon they were able to come back on the field. And so while with Christian McCaffrey, I obviously stand by the fact that if you have him on your team, you are going to need to start him. I do think that I'm a little bit concerned, at least a little bit concerned. Are you guys concerned at all about Christian McCaffrey? Jordan Mason just said he knew he was starting since Friday. Why did they not tell us that? I mean, that's freaking ridiculous. Isn't that? I'm pretty sure that's illegal. I'm pretty sure they're going to get fined for that. I'm pretty sure you cannot do that. I'm pretty sure the Thursday. I mean, I guess he was on the injury report. I don't know, man. I just want freaking justice, because it screwed me in a fantasy league. I know it screwed a couple other people, but. Not a very productive game from the quarterbacks. Brees was okay. 16 carries, 54 yards, had a touchdown, 15.8 points. Mason outproduced him. Lazard was the wide receiver 5 on the week. 6 receptions, 89 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Wilson had a lot of targets, obviously 11 targets there. Still only brought in 6 of them. And like last year, Wilson's biggest issue was that he was not adding touchdowns on top of all of his targets. So still being targeted at a very high rate, but not a high enough rate to get a touchdown and add to that tonight. Again, tough matchup. We're not going to make any hard conclusions from this, but with that being said, Ayuk was shut down tonight. Really sucked. As you can see, I had him in this league right here, but really not feeling great about that at all. I obviously missed most of training camp because of the contract stuff. Came back and completely ended week 1. So great job, Brandon Ayuk. Kittle, 6 points tonight, so he kind of did his thing. And so, again, let me know what your takeaways are in the comments. Drop a like if you're joining us, and if you enjoy this, and make sure you subscribe. But I'll kind of go through the comments here, and Thrawn is here, and I know, Thrawn, you had a disappointing week with some of your guys. I did too, across multiple leagues. Lost by 1 point on that meaningless Brees carry for 16 yards. That is awful. That sucks. I'm really sorry. So much exposure to Puka, it hurts bad. Tomorrow morning, we'll have a video coming out basically telling you what you should do with Puka and what you should do if you're a Puka owner. Because the Puka news is obviously big, and we were talking about this on the live stream earlier, but we're really going to have to adjust from a fantasy football perspective, I think, for this Puka Nacua loss. And so with that being said, I think there are some players that will step up for the Rams. Again, I won't give away too much because it's going to be on the video. It's going to be in your feed tomorrow morning. But with that being said, the Puka, injuries, they're bad after week 1. I mean, the combination of, Puka getting hurt, Christian McCaffrey not playing, Jamar Chase having 12, Amon-Ra having 4 points. Tyreek Hill actually performed. CD had 12 points. Bijan did okay. Brees did okay. So they both did fine. There's just a lot of disappointment from the top picks in fantasy football in week 1. I don't think it's like reason for panic or concern in most cases, but the Puka stuff's interesting. Again, I'll let the video kind of explain that tomorrow. We kind of talk about what we're doing with all these guys. So lost by 12, have the Ayuk and Purdy stack. Guess who couldn't reel in the touchdown cast? Would have won me the game. 6-point passing touchdown. Should have caught it too. Maybe should have went to camp. I'm pissed about Ayuk right now. he got me way too close in a couple matchups. Lesson learned: never start a holdout player no matter how big their name is. CD 5 of 10, Ayuk 2 of 4 with drop touchdown. Brutal week 1. I agree with you. I lost multiple matchups on really stupid stuff. I lost one because of Christian McCaffrey this week. Jordan Mason is not going to be a starter. The sleeper alert about Jordan Mason being Christian McCaffrey's long lost twin was somebody should be fired for that, first of all. But second of all, he did look fairly good. I mean, I will say that he looked fairly good. So I'll give him props where credit is due. But with that being said, when Christian McCaffrey comes back, it is his backfield. The one thing I do think makes Jordan Mason a really valuable waiver pickup is, again, I'm a little bit worried about the lingering calf injury. So Tej Wang said, I just had the greatest comeback in my $250 league. Well, let's hear it. Tell me what happened. Give me the play-by-play. I want to hear it. But that's great. You got to be feeling good about that. I needed Brock to score 12 and he scored 10. We are so back. This is fantasy football, baby. I feel like the 49ers really freaking screwed everybody this week. Between Christian McCaffrey and Brandon Ayuk and Purdy, I feel like a lot of people probably got screwed in this game tonight. Not to mention Wilson. Wilson probably lost some people some matchups. All he needed was, if you needed 10 points from Wilson and he got 9, you needed 12 points from Wilson. You guys think Rodgers looked like he was fully healthy? I think he is, but do you don't think he was favoring his foot at all? I was down by nearly 15 points today. Had Moody and opponent and Ayuk and Kittle, and I won. Yeah, that's ridiculous. What do I do with Mason? I'm not the CMC owner. Let's wait and see what the news looks like with Christian McCaffrey throughout the week. Play Jordan Mason, my flex over Ayuk. It was the obvious move. Good call. And this is a testament also to in this Shanahan-style offense, you're gonna see these guys able to step in and produce no matter who they are. We've seen this in the Mike McDaniel offense forever. It doesn't matter if it's Jeff Wilson. It doesn't matter if it's Mostert. It doesn't matter if it's Achane. They can all step in, and because of the system, they're going to be productive. And so you're going to see that with Jordan Mason as well. I think we said in a waivers video last week we weren't rostering the running back 2 in San Francisco, so we look certified stupid right now. That's for sure. It's not too late, but definitely not the best look. I would start Mason if CMC doesn't play. I absolutely would. Frick yeah. Lost by 0.3 because 49ers defense couldn't stop a nosebleed in the last drive. Again, I feel like the 49ers are screwing all of our fantasy teams tonight. So you guys let it out. You just let it out. This is a safe space. We can complain together. In the Flock League, Mason won tonight because Christian McCaffrey didn't play. It's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So I'm not happy. I'm also not happy. Should we hang on to Mason? I'm considering sending an offer to the CMC owner or Mason and Marv for Evans and Ladd McConkey. I would make that deal. Yeah. Hoping the Jets get it together. I love solid bang bang versus gangrene. Yeah, so Nathan and I aren't super high on Salah, to be honest with you. But I'm concerned I have him in my gold league team. Yeah, sorry, man. I know. Seems he has a few bumps and bruises, but not surprised by sitting him. Yeah, again, it's just the calf stuff scares me. That stuff just tends to not go away. That was Sleeper that I was showing, by the way, a Sleeper website. Should I trade Keon Coleman and Waddle for Amon-Ra? If you have the depth to do that, I'm good with it. No camp effect. That's exactly freaking right. My conclusions would be hard to make as I chose to make them Mr. Guy on right, sir. I'm glad that's my official government name now. Sell Christian McCaffrey high. I mean, we're just telling people to hold, but won 4 leagues by that. 4 leagues by that. How many leagues are you playing in? That's a lot of leagues to win on one freaking play. Man. I have Puka. Should I cash in on Nick Chubb hype if I can, so I can stick Puka on IR? Oh, I gotcha. Honestly, I don't think it matters either way. I don't want to give away the video tomorrow, so see if you have the question after the video. I have the Jets defense. Should I swap or switch early? They had a tough matchup tonight. I wouldn't. I mean, you can stream defense and you'll live. This is why they'll never win a Super Bowl. Bingo. I went 0-5 in redraft leagues. I'm very sorry. That sucks. You don't deserve that. What's up, Josue? Look, I got it. Boom. Watched someone in one of my leagues lose with a 17-point lead. His opponent had Moody. He immediately went in the group chat and proposed a vote for no kickers next year. I do the same thing. Rodgers is just old. There is that. I mean, he did go from 38 to 40 years old. It's not like he is a spring chicken by any means. So, how are we feeling about Lazard? How much free agent dollars are we dropping on Lazard? And I am seeing the freaking sleeper alert now that that Mason knew he was starting the whole week. That is so dumb. In terms of Lazard, you know, I would spend 2 to 5% of your free agent bidding on him. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal, honestly. But you know, I could be wrong. With Lazard, I feel like we know what we're getting. So yeah, Rodgers is just old. I need to find out who to flex this week. Options are Pickens, Deontay Johnson, Chase Brown, Jordan Mason, McConkey. McConkey for sure. He has a good matchup this week. Pickens has another tough matchup, but he's probably going to be your second guy there. Lost by only 1.2 points. Should I sell high on Aaron Jones? I wouldn't sell high on Aaron Jones. It looks like he's going to be able to get a lot of work there this year. It looks like it's going to be consistent, and it looks like he still is zippy enough to perform from a fantasy football perspective. So I would just hold, I think. Glad you're live again. I'm glad you're live with me again, mid-control. It's been a busy day, busy night. Today, hey, so this is cool. You guys don't care, but today was the biggest day we've ever had on any channel. So feeling pretty good today. It's a successful business venture. Yeah, 11:25. I have Mason on my bench. Should I keep him? I mean, you can. Again, if you can shop him and get anything of good value for him once Christian McCaffrey comes back, I'm good with it. But you could also hold if you're worried about the injury. So what should I do with Amari Cooper? That's a good question. Deshaun looked awful yesterday. So let's get that out of the way. Deshaun looked really bad. Amari Cooper had 9 targets. He caught 2 of them. That's not good at all. Let's just hold Amari Cooper for now because I feel like his value is going to be really low. If you can essentially get somebody like value adjacent and have a reroll, I would do that. But with that being said, I think you just have to hold. 1 by 0.9 because of Mason and Debo against Wilson. It's wild, man. You were down 30. On the other side of that, somebody is so pissed off, dude. Some of them are here. Maybe he's here. Moody 26 points tonight. You know what's funny is Moody is my kicker in the Flock League. I only ended up losing. In the Flock League, I have Amon-Ra, I have Pittman, I have Goff. They all sucked this week. I only ended up losing that game by 16-ish points. I still lost to a dev, so I'm still not happy about that at all. We picking up right this week. Yeah, and you're going to stash him. It's every week with those two, man. Every week last year, it was Mostert and Achane on the injury report. What is it this year? How high are we on Barkley? Should I consider trading Christian McCaffrey in a large, for him in a large upgrade at wide receiver? Yes, you should consider that. I'm high on Saquon. Saquon looked amazing. He looked amazing. Which 3 should I start? Lamb, London, Pittman, Godwin, Shakir. Lamb, Godwin, London. How high are we on Barkley? Yeah, I got that one. In this one too. I got it all, Ethan. I need 20 points from Rodgers in Dynasty. Yeah, not happening. Mason was on crack. Is he worth a stash despite CMC might come back? Absolutely, he's worth a stash or a trade. Like, again, you're definitely doing something with Jordan Mason because he has some value now, right? I needed one more Debo or Garrett Wilson touchdown. I'm sorry. Everybody let us down this week. This is safe space. If you're pissed about your fantasy football team, you can let it out here. I'll sympathize with you. I'm pissed about my fantasy football team. I won a lot of leagues. I won in a lot of leagues this week. I lost in the league I care about the most, and that's the Flock League. I really, really don't want to lose that league. Mason has always been it. He's always been better than Mitchell. He is good. I believe it. I think he's worth it. I think he's worth something. Yeah, 49ers defense lost. I mean, maybe, but it also wouldn't surprise me if they just told him that McCaffrey wasn't playing. Should I trade Cooper for Godwin? I'm making that trade personally. Yes. I'm definitely making that trade. I thought so too. I thought it was also an issue. But with that being said, I'm not sure they'll actually get banged for it because they did report it technically like Thursday. He was on the injury report. He's questionable. Godwin in the slot is a lock. I'm glad you're catching on. 100%. I needed 1 point, and Chris McCaffrey went out. Braylon Allen came in clutch. Yeah. Jeez. Man, you starting Allen? I'm getting that JT deal for Worthy and Harris. Very nice. Who do I start my running back position with? JT Stevenson and Aaron Jones. Probably Jonathan Taylor. Traded Worthy for Drake London. London was done. There you go. Way to capitalize. Is Caleb Williams a bust? He looked like he was seeing ghosts. No, he's not a bust. You can't call you can't call somebody a bust until after like 2 solid years of them sucking. Unless it's Trey Lance and you just don't ever have to see him play and you can call him a bust. But no, he's not a bust. No. He's a rookie. He's fine. He could be a bust. I just don't think he is. I don't think I would label him that yet. How high are we on Barkley? Oh, Ethan, you got me again. Frick. I'm Nathan now. Any kickers you recommend from waivers? Honestly, I couldn't tell you, man. I haven't been ranking kickers, so I would just stream and go with the guys who have the best matchups in terms of like the Vegas spreads. I lost my redraft league, but won one of my dynasty leagues. Right on. Got to win that dynasty money too. I'd wait 5 weeks with Aaron Jones. That's also smart if you're going to do it. What's up, Legend of Blitz God? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Do I spend a good amount on Allen Lazard? Not a good amount. I mean, probably, like I said, a small portion, like 2 to 5% of your waiver budget, and that's it. I don't feel like this is going to be that sustainable. I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, am I off base? Should I be higher on Allen Lazard? Just tell me in the comments. I honestly, I don't know. Like, I mean, I see the appeal, but like, I just feel like it's every freaking time with Allen Lazard, and it never amounts to it never amounts to anything. Remember that year he was going to be a wide receiver 1? I mean, man. Yeah, 6 of 9. Nice. 89 yards. 2 touchdowns. Allen Lazard is what everybody wanted Garrett Wilson to be tonight. Huh. That sucks. I don't know. Again, tell me. I mean, yeah, Alex, I think Lazard's not any good, but it is Aaron Rodgers. I mean, Aaron Rodgers would, if it was up to him, all of his freaking team would just be his buddies, so. Started McLaurin over Godwin. Do I start Godwin Yes. Start Godwin over McLaurin rest of the season by far. Godwin can be a mid-wide receiver 2 this season. And Evans, in my opinion, can be a wide receiver 1. I think Baker can support both of them. That offense looks good, man. They still look good. And Baker looks all right. Appreciate it, Alex. Thanks, man. And thanks for all your help. And that's a good goal, I think. If we can get there, it'd be sick. Do you think Zach Moss can be a running back 2 when the Bengals offense are all back healthy? Yes, I do think that. Low end running back 2. And again, I want to emphasize, it's not saying that much because running back 2s aren't really that impressive right now in fantasy. So last year I lost in the semifinals by less than 0.5 points. My kicker was injured, and it was 49ers and Ravens Christmas, and both CMC and Lamar didn't get goal line run-ins. Oh, and Devontae gave me 1.5, and Hawk was injured. That sucks. Is Cup a buy? Cup is, so here's the thing. Nathan and I were doing our rankings tonight, which I got to still work on them because I got to record the rankings video in the morning. Cup is a top 3 wide receiver every week. If Puka's out, why isn't he? He got 21 targets last night. He will get 20 targets. So if somebody's selling him for anything, yes, absolutely he's a buy. I just don't think people are selling. Went into this week up 7 with the Jets defense. Left to play for their team. Proud of my Niners today. Congratulations. Congratulations. Why are you so handsome? Honestly, I've had to work really hard on it. I was born really ugly, and I've had to really focus and grind to get to this point. So I appreciate it. Yeah. I know this isn't a redraft. That was a joke, by the way. I know this isn't a redraft question, but I got sent an offer. 2 projected late 25 firsts for London and a third. London. 3-1 on my leagues this week. Congratulations. Got bailed by starting Fairbairn twice, but we move. Fairbear, I call him Fairbear because he drives me freaking nuts. I don't care what his name is. If that guy's playing the Colts, I would trade for him. He will win you a fantasy matchup. It's been that way for years now. So annoying. Any adjustments, Jason? Outlook, or are you still confident? I'm not going to make. Part of it is I'm stubborn, and I did this last year too. I'm still confident. JSN got the most opportunity from like a snap share perspective and from like a being on the field perspective than he's gotten in his entire career. I'm hopeful that the volume will come. Amon-Ra was balls, man. He lost me the flock league. I'm actually at a breaking point. It's only week 1. Same team had Kincaid, Puka, Javante starting 2-man, so piss $100 league. Again, I'm in the flock league, and in my flock league, my team, I'll just freaking show you. Goff versus his Hurts. He had Bijan. I had Etienne. So Etienne fumbled that touchdown through the end zone. Kyron didn't do bad. He at least had a touchdown. He had Monty. He had Debo tonight. He had Evans. Look at the wide receivers here. Debo and Mike Evans gave him 41 points to my 11 from Amon-Ra St. Brown and Michael Pittman. Tight ends were a wash. I won the flex spots. I've got good flex guys here, but my gosh. I even got 26 from my kicker, and it didn't matter. And our defenses played each other. So, yeah, I'm not feeling particularly good right now. I'm pissed. Because I got Mason in the freaking Discord chat already talking the most crap. Whatever. I got offered Marvin Harrison for Devonta Smith. I would just hold. It's not because I have Devonta Smith ranked higher rest of the season. It's just because I just don't want to buy Marvin Harrison right now. He's paid Becca extra on the side for editing preference. What was that into? Oh, yeah. Nice. Yeah, Becca makes me look better. That's true. Hey, I made the thumbnail for tonight. How good is that? Becca showed me she sent me a template and I made it. I feel like it's pretty freaking good. H&M and Mostert are already questionable. I did see that. I have Gus Bus on my bench thinking about dropping him for Wright. I mean, Gus Bus has some value for the rest of the season too, I think. So, I don't know. You be careful with that one. But with that being said, if you did it, I guess I wouldn't blame you. Marv rest of the season. Oh, man, you guys are asking me about Marv tonight. Oh, I don't know. Also wondering what you think of Bucky Irving. I honestly, I think Bucky Irving probably has a pretty cap ceiling because I think Rachaad White's going to get all the valuable touches in that offense. Let me look. Let's see. I'm trying to look at what the snaps were there. So Irving so he obviously led the team in rushing yards. Rachaad White typically played about 80% of Tampa Bay's offensive snaps last season. At least 70 in all but one game. In this game, he played in just under 70%. In the 4th round rookie took significant time. But again, when you're talking about goal line carries, all Rachaad White. Early downs, Rachaad White dominated. Short yardage, 2-2. 3rd down plays, Rachaad White, 10, Bucky Irving, 2. I think Bucky Irving has a cap ceiling, and I don't think he affects Rachaad White's outlook. Even if Rachaad White is inefficient. The safest wide receiver pick let me down. Yeah, I'm assuming you're talking about Amon-Ra. He let me down too. Who do I drop from Coleman, Odunze, and Shakir for likely? Oh, man. Do you want to drop those guys for likely? I don't. I mean, is this a really shallow league? Is that what the deal is? I would prefer those guys over likely, honestly. I beat Waffle Hauser on that last breach run before they took him out. I don't think he will ever talk to me again. He was in here already talking about it, so. I got the number 1 waiver in my only league with first standings. Who were your top targets? My first thought was Madison. Likely is my top target. I mean, I guess if Jordan Mason's there, he probably will be up there as well now. Who should be the top waiver target this week, guys? You guys can let me know. Again, we had Likely in there as number 1. I think he has the highest upside of anybody that's on waivers right now. I mean, obviously Jordan Mason has pretty high upside too if he's on your waivers. What's Sutton's value? I want to trade him. I'm not sure his ceiling. I don't think he's very valuable, so you're probably not getting a lot for him at all. His ceiling's, I don't know. His ceiling's capped just because of the situation, in my opinion. With no Mike Williams, Lazard has a connection with Rodgers. I think he plays. Lazard will do well. Okay, there you go. I traded Kupp for Bijan. I have Brees and Aaron Jones. I still have JJ, Devontae, Marvin Harrison. Good trade. Honestly, you could still JJ, Devontae, Marvin Harrison. It's a lateral move, I'd say. I'd say it's a lateral move. I'm okay with that. You've got good receivers, but I like Kupp right now. I'm not selling Kupp, but obviously you got a good deal for him. Should I trade Puka and Pollard for Kenneth Walker and Godwin, or is that too much? That's slightly too much. I would need the best asset in that deal to be slightly better than Kenneth Walker, but it's getting there close. Is Colts fan can AR pass, or is he just Lamar on steroids? He cannot pass. He cannot pass. He has a strong arm. He had some spectacular throws. The dude is not accurate. It's depressing. It makes me sad. I have Ingram as well. Yeah. Pollard is solid running back 2 this season. He is. And I think he's going to have a good year. He looked good in week 1 especially. Should I drop Purdy for Baker and redraft? No. Not yet, but it's getting to that point. They're about the same, honestly. They're probably in the same tier rest of the season. And I would just take the one in the better offense. Chubb, Puka for Kupp. Are you getting Kupp? If so, I'm smashing that. I absolutely take Kupp. Again, you need to win these next 4 games, man. You got to win, and Kupp will win them for you. What do you think about Garrett Wilson after now? It's pretty hyped. I know 12 is insane, but it looked so much better than the previous years. I mean, my opinion didn't really sway one way or the other tonight. He got a lot of targets like he did last year. He didn't get a touchdown. 10 yards per reception. I think I know what Garrett Wilson can be. I just want to see him do it from a fantasy perspective. I think he's a plenty good NFL wide receiver. I think he's great. Puka for Kupp straight up. I'm taking Kupp. Do we ever trade for someone on the waiver wire? Cough, Puka, cough. Man. Not this year, you don't. Last year, you maybe could have. Last year's waivers were nuts. Brock Bowers over Rice. Rishi Rice there. Should I try and offload Mike Evans in Dynasty after this huge week? No. Just win your championship, dude. Just win. And if you're rebuilding, yes. But if not, no, just win. We do have a super chat from Dang12. Appreciation for all the hard work you and Nathan put out. We appreciate that, man. We're working hard right now, but it's a lot of fun. Doing this is fun. I will say that. And honestly, what makes it the most fun is being able to do stuff like this where we can interact with everybody and kind of hang out. So drop a like if you like these streams and if you appreciate all that. That really helps us out. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you do. I think we're getting close to 12,000 subscribers now. We were at less than 11,000 last night. So we feel like we're doing pretty good. But really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Lots of fun. CMC and Neighbors for Kupp and Gibbs. Kupp and Gibbs. Sorry. Am I stupid for that? Trade Debo for Wilson straight up. No. I just don't like the straight up moves. I mean, if you can maybe make that move with another couple players in it, I think I'd like that. But what would I add to get? I just don't think I would. Marvin Harrison Jr. ruined my dub. I'm sorry, man. Yeah, he's rookie wide receiver. It's tough. It's really tough. But do you know that Mason won $150,000 in an underdog contest? I did not know that. Was it last year? Or was it 2 years ago? Did y'all talk about how Jordan Mason knew he was the starter? Yeah, we did talk about that. I think that's I feel like it's kind of illegal. But I mean, again, with the CMC injury, I feel like the calf injuries, the Achilles injuries scare me because they tend to linger. So yeah, I'm not thrilled about it by any means. Gibbs or Brees Hall in Dynasty? Brees. Is Dobbins actually going to defy odds and be fantasy relevant after an Achilles injury? He will Dobbins was always a really good pick to go off in week 1 because he always does that when he's playing. He always does that. The problem is he just doesn't play. He doesn't play often enough, and so I think that I think that Dobbins is. It's kind of like, you think he's going to stay healthy? If you keep him because he's valuable and he can be productive. If not, you sell high. Thoughts on a potential trade? It's a deep wide receiver league. Should I trade Addison for Ingram? I have Freiermuth and Hawk. Honestly, no. I wouldn't do that. In a deep wide receiver league, no. What do you think of Olave? How worried should I be? Video coming tomorrow with news on Olave, but in kind of what we would do with Olave. Spoiler alert, don't freak out. It's my first year doing free agent bidding. What'd you say is a good amount to spend on guys? Like, we have 1,000 budget, and I'm just lost because I've never done it. So check out the playbook, Legend of Blitz God. If you haven't watched the playbooks are video every week where we give you everything you need for the week. And on the waiver section of the playbook, we give you like a percentage there. So we say like, okay, for Isaiah Likely, I think we had 30 to 50% of your free agent money. For you, that'd be $300 to $500. So that should help you. What do you think of Jamar and the Bengals in general? I think they looked like garbage. That's what I think. I think Jamar could still be productive. I'm scared, man, that we're going to get another 10 to 12 year from Jamar. So I don't know. Waffle, thanks for your super chat, buddy. Not hyperbole. Is this the worst fantasy week 1 ever? Again, I feel like it feels worse because we had so many bad performances and injuries from guys drafted in the first 2 rounds. I feel like from a I don't know. I remembered last year. I mean, I guess I may be skewing this because from an NFL perspective, from a game watching perspective, it was pretty good up until like the 425 games on Sunday. It was like really good. Ever, I'm not sure about, but it was bad in a lot of ways. David, appreciate it. I'll trash talk in Domain Live League for having the highest score. Didn't even need CMC and waivers were broken, so I took a 0. Yeah, sorry about that, but I don't think it would have mattered. Let's see, Domain Live League. Pretty sure I won. All right, so let's take a look at this real quick. Appreciate you bringing that up, David. Here is the Domain Live League this week. This is my team right here, and this is Nathan's team, okay? So this should tell you all you need to know about who the superior player is in fantasy football. And if Nathan asks, you can tell him I said that. But thanks for bringing that league up, and I'm glad you did well in that league. You outscored me by how many points? 172. Holy smokes. I was the lowest scoring winning team. Oh, no, I was the second lowest. So, anyways, Nathan's asleep, so I can trash talk. All right. Oh, Tresnor's here. What's up, Tresnor? Zamir White cooked. What's his outlook for the rest of the year? Man, Zamir White actually didn't end up being that bad of a value because like we thought he was going to be going a lot higher than he was in fantasy drafts. And then even though he ended up not being that bad of a value, he's still not returning on it. So, it's week 1. I don't think he's cooked. Outlook for the rest of the year, it's going to depend on how many valuable touches that Madison takes from him. But Madison had a long touchdown. I think there are going to be games where Zamir White has 2 touchdowns, and so yeah. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Chargers defense, top waiver wire. A lot of people are talking about the Chargers defense. So I'm like, all right. It's a 16-team dynasty. I'm dropping Michael Wilson and McMillan for Likely and Mason off waivers. Ooh, in a dynasty league, I wouldn't drop McMillan for Mason. I would drop Wilson for Likely, but I would keep McMillan. McMillan has a good outlook, man. In a deep league like that, I'm kind of surprised you can drop those guys. In Dynasty, Christian McCaffrey owner offered me a first for Mason. I took it but added a second to Mason. A first? Dude, you committed highway robbery. That's ridiculous. Oh my gosh, man. That's the most reactionary Dynasty trade I've ever heard in my life. Hopefully I get both. Is JT Diggs for Saquon a good trade? I'm okay with it, I think. You're betting on Saquon maintaining, so. But I think I'm okay with it. I mean, it's an upside play. Hopefully you've got good enough roster for an upside play like that. I benched Ramondre for Javonte Williams. Had Dobbins on the bench too. Amon-Ra screwed me over. He screwed me too. And a lot of people bench Ramondre, so. And Dobbins, that sucks. Sorry, Bobby. We learn, and we move on after week 1 in fantasy football. Isn't that right, guys? Would you trade Christian McCaffrey for Hill and Ayuk? Yeah. Lazard or Bigsby from the waivers? I lean Bigsby. I'm not that excited about Lazard. What running back could I get for Diggs? Oh, man. I don't know. I mean, I feel like maybe you could get Jacobs at a discount because of the injury to Love, but I could be wrong. I don't know. It's just going to depend on your league. I feel like the guys, maybe try to get Joe Mixon. I'm honestly okay with Joe Mixon there. Joe Mixon is going to be good this year. Traded Monty and Kincaid for Nixon, Cup, and Dynasty. Yeah, it's a win now move, I think, but I'm good with it. Yep, here's Tresner. Jordan Mason. Yeah. Lazard being viable in fantasy 2024 is nuts. I think it's nuts, too. I think it's a little bit too nuts. That's why I'm not necessarily, chomping at the bit to get myself some Allen Lazard, but... Yeah, we got a promo code on Flock. Use code DOMAIN when you sign up. You get 30% off. And when you get a membership and stuff like that, you get all of our exclusives, and our exclusives are top-notch. So, code DOMAIN, baby. Start 3, Diggs, Dell, Moore, Connor, Keenan, Jalen Wright. You have a chance starting 2, so you're probably not going to want to do Jalen Wright. I'm going to go Moore, Dell. Probably more Dell and Diggs. Offer JMO for Puka and redraft. You got to take Puka there. That's a cheap, and I mean, you're shooting for upside, but it's a cheap way to shoot for upside. Oh, that's all right. One team I got, Chris McCaffrey, put Mason in last minute. It was only up 15. Glad I did. Against Wilson. Yeah, I'm glad you did as well. Good job. Some clutch moves tonight from the crew. Who's in the I lost to Jake Moody club tonight? I had Jake Moody and I still lost. How about that? I'm in that club. Won by 0.56 on my last Garrett Wilson catch. Congratulations. That's awesome. Should I try and move off of Murray? He's got a tough schedule. Should I hold and hope for the best? Not who should I target? I'm honestly cool holding Kyler right now. Congrats, Damian. Congrats on the W, my friend. Got a counter off of Devonta Smith for Mason. Full PPR. Should I take it? In a redraft league? Take Smith. Yeah, abso-freaking-lutely. Oh, my gosh. Man, what are these trades? Waiver targets. Anyone to spill the bag on? Yeah, I mean, we put all of our waiver targets out there, but Likely is still the guy for me. Likely, and I guess Jordan Mason now. Who would you trade running back? Who would you trade for at the running back position? My buys. Trying to think running back. I didn't have a lot of running back buys after week 1. We didn't even have one on our video. But with that being said, Pollard, if you can still get him cheap. I feel like they're missing. I feel like they did have a running back buy and I'm missing somebody. There's just not a ton of guys I'm like really comfortable saying, yeah, go buy this running back. I'm just being honest with you. B-Rob looked okay. Maybe you try that. You got Najee, H-Chan, Javonte. You also have Jaden Daniels. Yeah, try to get a Pollard or something like that. Is Worthy a trade high? He could be. Yeah. And you should be concerned about the volume. Check out the video tomorrow. Would you still buy Bryce Young for the right price as a rebuild and reloader in Dynasty? Man, that's a tough one. Honestly, I would prefer not to at this point. He looked really bad yesterday against the Saints. With the injury, I'm keeping Mason. That's why you draft him as a handcuff. Honestly, I don't blame you. I don't really blame you. Bum of Tennis, appreciate you, man. Thanks for your super chat. Is Worthy a trade high? If so, who's a reasonable target? Good question. I did give you that answer. He could be, depending on where he is in your depth chart. In terms of reasonable targets, I would be shooting for somebody like a stud wide receiver one. Like not top end, but like a DJ Moore, Michael Pittman, guys like that in that range. Devonta Smith, maybe, Jalen Waddle. Any of those guys are smash accepts. And it's going to depend on your league. I don't know how competitive your league is, how good of fantasy players they are. But I think he's definitely in consideration for that type of player, I think. And like I said, we'll give you some more info in the video tomorrow. I've said that a million times. One-on-one and buy-in leagues. Okay, not bad. They just stopped using Olave. That's what we told people. Would you trade Gibbs and Reed or Worthy for Hall? I feel like I answered this one earlier. I wouldn't. I'd just hold. Yeah, I'm not sure about, you guys are kind of talking about the I know you're not a London guy, but I feel like I'm not panicking on him either. Same with Olave. My 3 starting wide receivers are Puka, London, and Waddle. My 3 wide receivers, my bench were Reed, BJ, and Smith. Yeah, it's freaking rough, man. I'm sorry. Falcons' the offense is cooked. They did not look that good. I'm not going to lie to you. They did not look good. Kirk not doing anything is affecting London more than London as a player. That's true. That's exactly right. That's exactly correct. And Kirk looked rough. What's up, Chef? Good to see you, my friend. Solid start to football. Most people made it out healthy. Yeah, except for, like I said, McCaffrey and Puka, man. Zeke over Singletary. Sure. Yeah, better offense and, probably more red zone opportunities. Amon-Ra would have screwed me if I didn't have Nico and Achan. Yeah, he screwed me. I stashed Mason for the game because CMC out. There you go. Good move, man. That's playing 40 chess. Yeah, I know. Nico over London. What running back can I get for Swift and Ridley? Man, I don't know. I don't want to give you a solid answer because, it's going to depend on your league. Again, I think for Swift and Ridley, you should be able to get a pretty solid guy. Top 5 round guy this year in fantasy drafts. Am I cooked with Zach Moss as my running back too? I mean, if you have a really good wide receiver room, you're not. And probably a really good quarterback or tight end. But if you don't have those good things, then yeah, you're probably cooked. ETN, Kincaid, and Marv, what do I do? I would shop Marv. I'm not worried about ETN. I would try to get likely on waivers for Kincaid. I mean, I'm not super worried about that yet. Kincaid got the work. He got the opportunity, just didn't get the targets. So I need to sell high on Ramondre right now. Sutton's my second flex and is gross. Honestly, I'd hold Ramondre, but you do you. Sutton is gross in the flex, though. I agree with that. All right, I got a couple super chats down here. Sorry, I missed these. Alonzo, what's up? Do I trade Ingram or Isaiah Likely for JT or Olave? You can do that? What kind of leagues do you play in? I mean, both of those guys, like JT and Olave, are far more valuable than either Ingram or Isaiah Likely. So if you can get that done, absolutely. Holy smokes. Please do. What's up, Swerve? Who do I start next week? Olave, J. Will, Moore, Ayuk, and Shakir. I mean, out of those guys, I still would probably go Ayuk. But I'm assuming you only need one of those guys. And yeah, I mean, it's Ayuk or Olave, right? I mean, I think they're probably going to be comparable next week. My running backs are Gus, Tyjae, Dowdle, Benson, and Brooks. The rest of the team is strong. Tons of capital, best capital by far. Try not to panic. Nah, yeah, I wouldn't panic yet. Who do you think will be the wide receiver 1 in Buffalo by the end of the year? Probably Coleman by the end of the year, but Shakir is also a good answer there. One of those two guys for sure. Should I start Likely over Kincaid? I think I got this. I think somebody else asked me this earlier. Yeah, for now. Until Kincaid shows. Lost by 0.56 is Amon-Ra. Time to waive him yet? I would waive him. I would cut Amon-Ra same round. I have a Christian McCaffrey in a rebuild and was not able to move him because of lack of interest. What do you do in this situation? You hold until he comes back and produces at some point, because he will. He's not done for his career. So, is Ramondre a sell high? No, I wouldn't sell high on Ramondre. Would you rather have Diggs or Rice rest of the season? Probably Rice. Just traded Mike Evans and Ryan Thomas Jr. for Garrett Wilson. Okay, that's a pretty solid trade. I mean, you got to hope Garrett Wilson... I think Mike Evans is a good player right now in fantasy, but you got to just hope that Garrett Wilson comes in and pops off for you. So, is Kmet a drop? Kmet should be dropped, for sure. Kmet is the tight end 2 on his own team. Is P. Ryan a stash in PPR? I personally don't think so. I think the guys on waivers are more valuable right now. Seahawks D or Pats versus Chargers versus Panthers. I would probably go Chargers. Drop Chase Brown for Likely. I don't think so. Who would you drop for Likely between Curtis Samuel, Yoshi Voss, and Gus Bus? Probably Yoshi, because, I mean, they're both waiver guys. Actually, you know what? Curtis Samuel. Drop Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel's the clear wide receiver 4 in that team. Yeah, Wilson did have some garbage time points tonight. He's just getting some targets. So, would you pick up Tank or Wright if you have Achane? Probably Wright. I would do Wright. Def don't trade Worthy for London. All right. I mean, I wouldn't be writing London off. I wouldn't be Victor Lapping after 1 week. I would give it a couple weeks before you Victor Lap. Do we actually think Reed is a good dynasty buy, even given that everyone in that wide receiver room stays healthy? I fear he'll be boom or bust without enough volume. He probably will be boom or bust, but his floor is fairly high, I feel like. So I think he's a fine buy in Dynasty, although he probably gained some value. He was a better buy earlier this offseason. Should I sell high on Ford and should I hold on to Sharps? Honestly, I think I'm holding Ford at this point. Sharps, I think, is still not. I think he's droppable, but that's my opinion. Should you trade Edwards and JSN for Javonte? No, I wouldn't do that. How bad was this guy, please? You've traded Kyler for Darnold, T. Higgins, and 25 late first. That's highway robbery. That's stupid. It's all in, no future picks, and you will flip first. You lost Puka and Christian McCaffrey. You're just digging. You're just digging a deeper hole. That's awful. That's terrible. Read for Puka. Puka. How's Lazard out producing Garrett? Garrett is my Kyle Pitts. I get burned him by every year till he hits for me. Yep. No, it's the Garrett Wilson train's not great tonight. When do week 2 unlock on ESPN to pick up players for the first time doing this? It depends on your league and what your commissioner set for your waivers to run. Most of the time in most leagues, they're going to be on Wednesday. So Wednesday mornings. Yeah, no one switched. I think that's probably true. I think London's one of the safest buys. Even if Cousins sucks, there's always a chance Penix can support him. That's true. He's got the Penix insurance. It's not London. I'm telling you, it's not London. Next week, Mason or Dobbins in running back 2. If McCaffrey's out, I'm going Mason. What running back can I get for Godwin and Zamir White or Eckler Dowder in Dynasty? In Dynasty, man, let me look. I mean, I'm thinking like, let's see. You said Godwin. And yes, I'm using a trade calculator right now because my brain is fried. Let's do Godwin and Zamir White. Never mind. I'm not using a trade calculator. They suck. You know, honestly, like I think you could get a Pacheco, maybe Tony Pollard, somebody in that range. Brooks, maybe if people still are a little bit lower on Brooks, but it's too early to panic on Etienne, Kincaid, or Marv. Etienne, yes. Kincaid, yes. Marv, yes. With Marv though, he's a rookie. We were picking him in the top 15 picks as a rookie. I'm not all that surprised he's off to a slow start. What do you think about the Miami running back injury situation? I think they're going to do this every single game. They did it every game last year. I think it's wise to stash the guys behind them. Grabbing CMC and not snatching Jordan Mason is a crime. You drop the ball, he was the easiest pickup. That's true. What if Marv does it again this week? Then he's not going to have enough value probably. He's going to lose a ton of value, I think. And I don't think at that point you'll be able to sell him for anything. Am I cooked with Kincaid moving forward? No. Give us some time with Kincaid. He was on the field a lot. Yeah, and Kyler just didn't look his way. I got offered Olave for J.K. Dobbins and half PPR. Do I accept? Yeah, you do. My gosh, I don't know why I thought so long about that. Yeah, I was kidding when I said cut. I'm on raw. So, okay. All right. I'm probably going to call it because I have been recording or working all day and I'm getting pretty tired. So, and this game was kind of, I don't know, even though it was high scoring, it's kind of boring tonight. So, but this is fun. We'll continue to do this after the primetime games. I'll keep on jumping on here. I won't always be this tired, but Monday's our studio day. So, I was in the studio a lot today and we live streamed for 2 hours earlier. So I've been behind a camera a lot. So, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for jumping on with me tonight. We'll have a video coming out in the morning telling you what to do with Cup, telling you what to do with Olave, telling you what to do with Puka, telling you what to do with ETN. All of the guys you need to know what to do with if you haven't. Kincaid, Andrews, all of those guys. We're going to have a video in the morning telling you what to do with those guys. But I appreciate you all. I love you all. Thanks for joining me tonight. I hope you won your fantasy week. And if you didn't, I hope you win it next week. But we'll see you really soon. Peace out.